Alright. So, welcome to the stream. We are continuing on our project of porting a Godot game from Godot to my own engine. And today I'm going to start with some level design. So you can see in the Godot game, we have quite a bit of rooms that I actually designed. We were a bunch of people on this project, and I was not a programmer as I usually am. I was doing the level design, game design also. And now the idea is to take this level design and author it in the game as it stands right now. So if I launch the game, you can see the nice editor that we made work last time. Basically, what we did last time was make it infinite. So if I go and draw out of the first room, it will like expand. And we also did these purple guides on the boundaries of rooms. That means like after the mushroom, a few tiles after it, there is a tile, a room transition or a room limit. And if I go to the right, I walk. Then when I reach the boundary, it switches room. Pretty nothing special until now. So the idea will be that we will start with the first room and maybe like draw the tiles for the first few rooms and see if the tool is reaching like our expectations of a tile mapping tool. And if not, we can of course improve. So I'm going to relaunch because I drew out of bounds. That might be an issue that we cannot really shrink the map back. Okay, so let's see. So this is the first room. So we can leave it at the origin. And it has some... So I guess we start here. Let's play in Godot and see how it looks. Up. Okay, so there are some mountains here. I don't remember putting them here, so maybe it was a test. But the main point is there is a ledge, or here, and it blocks you from going to the right. And at that point, you notice that you cannot jump, because maybe what you would like to do, reflexively, you want to jump over this little mountain and try to press space or up, but it doesn't work, because, well, you're just a kid, you cannot jump. So you have to go to the left, and you find the flute. And using the flute, you can imitate this frog that you meet, and which is singing. By the way, you should be able to hear the game music and sound. So you should be able to hear the frog singing. I hope it's working. I tried to set it up before the stream. Don't hesitate if you're watching this to let me know in the chat if the sound is working fine or not. But we got nice music and nice SFX from the crew, the sound crew of this jam. Elia for the music composition, and Quentin for the sound design. And we'll bring over their sounds as well today to the game, because what I want to do later is implement the singing animals and the flutes. And so if I imitate the song of the frog, I basically turn into a frog, and now I can jump, and now I can go back up the ledge and go back to the first screen and finally get over the mountain and move forward, like move on to the rest of the game. So it's the basic Metroidvania thing, right? It's the you get an item or a power that allows you to move on, like to come back to places you were before, but now with the new power you can get further, if that makes sense. Alright, so let's design the first room. So we just need a flat terrain, about 5 tiles high, and then just a little ledge. So up. Okay. So I launch again the game, or it was already launched. And this is the room, so we want maybe this height up. Oh shit, okay. So we got already a little usability bug. When I drew this rectangle, it expanded the map, and or the tile map, yes. And the kid fell because the tile map being bigger, it had room to fall. And it crossed this boundary, and that made the camera move. I think it's kind of a bug. If we cross a boundary, the camera moves even in editor mode, where we're supposed to be freely panning around. So I will just fix that. I think it's camera or world, transform world push. Okay. So if we are in editor mode, we don't want to do that basically. So I think we can just put that here, which says, sorry, I should make it bigger, which says, whoops, if we are not in editor mode, then we do one. This was just to render the game in an off-screen buffer that has the correct size, and this is to basically move the world depending on the camera position. So off-screen pass, begin and end, and we can also move the transform world pop, which would reset the transformation from the camera in this condition. All right, that should work. So let's see if I move here. Okay, no weird movement of the camera. That's great. So let's relaunch and draw the room up. Okay, I was quick enough so it couldn't fall through. Sounds about right. And then we need a little ledge here. And so now, make it a little bit bigger. Now when we go here, we realize that we cannot jump up. And so we have to go back. So maybe I should increase the work speed a little, at least for testing. And here we cannot go to the left because there is nothing there yet. But using the editor, we can like zoom and draw a little bit more terrain, and also draw some kind of lower terrain where we can fall. And here you will get the flute, and the frog will be standing here and singing. And then we got a small like hill and a tunnel here. And the tunnel, crucially, as in any Metroidvania, is blocked by something. And spoilers, but we will be able to push this something, which is a shit ball, with another animal later on. Okay. Maybe yeah, a little higher so the shit ball can be bigger. Okay, and then we turn into a frog at this point, and we can jump. So here I'm just cheating and using a shortcut. But yes, that's the game view. Oh, we don't have any sky anymore. Like sky is a strange word because it's like black, but all right. All right. And here, what's going on exactly? Did I just, yes, I just didn't draw all the way. And here we got some kind of, platforming challenge. I think we got small bit with a kind of a big landing zone, so you are less likely to miss it. Then we got another small pit but this time with a smaller landing zone. So you have to be more precise. And then a larger pit. And then a like small landing zone and a small pit again, seems like. Okay. I could change the level design, by the way. Wouldn't hurt, but because it was done in a jam and it's probably not optimal, let's say. But I'll not bother for now. Okay. Okay. And we got some spikes. Spikes that I didn't implement yet. So if you fall on the spikes, you won't be killed at the moment. But I'll place them nonetheless, and I can implement them later. I'll keep an eye on the chat, just in case somebody says hello. Although, yeah, I can just move the window down. Okay. And try to just Alt-Tab sometimes. Because I really want to be able to say, hey, if somebody is there. Okay. Right. Oh no, it disappears. Okay, I see the problem. Let me just try to figure that out. That's why the last time I opened a web view in the browser, I should probably do that. Okay, so that's good enough. Can I resize this a little bit? Yeah, okay, so this is just part of OBS. But it doesn't hurt. Okay, nice. So, back to my game. Now I have the frog, I can jump. I can even maybe try to do the platforming challenge. With the current settings, it might be slightly hard, so at least I don't die. Okay, up. Oh, I fell through the ground here. So there is some edge cases. I think it's when you are right on the corner. And anyway, your hitbox is kind of, or collider is kind of simplistic. It's just a point, I think, at this point. Whoops. Spiky. Okay. Okay. So now, what should we do? So first of all, I should save. So I just use Control S to save. Maybe it would be nice. I think it's written in the console that it saves, but it could be nice to confirm that something happens. So what I could do is go, I think it's up. Okay, so this is the function that's called every frame. It's called render. And here are some keyboard commands that we are defining. So I could just title this board commands. So I know that the following are keyboard commands, including this, which allows me to change the animal type. And we got, this is the one that saves. So if we are pressing like Command S or Control S on Windows, we save the tile map using this function, which basically it basically dumps all the tiles of the tile map on disk in a file. Using some, it also dumps like or serialize some information about the tile map. But it's pretty simple in the end. And so we do log save tile map, but you see that only if the console is open. You can see here, save tile map. And by the way, it re-imports the assets because the tile map is saved in the assets folder. So it detects a change when we save, which is not really necessary, but doesn't hurt at the same time. So save tile map could go like editor. We can leave that actually. Editor message, something. Is it editor message? So let's see, editor So my goal would be to display a show message, editor show message. Okay. Show message up to display a message on the actual user interface. So we know that we saved the level. Saved level, I will call it. Because later on we want to save also like character positions and stuff. And so I suppose I just don't include the editor code. Okay, doesn't work. Did compile? No. Show message. Okay, let's check where it's defined. Okay, nowhere, basically. I think there is no prefix in this. Right. Okay, so now it compiles, and when I save, no. Okay, we got another problem, perhaps. Build and watch. So this is the thing that compiles the game continuously as I save changes. And it seems to have compiled successfully. So when so the message is still logged. When I hit Ctrl S, it logs, but I don't see any. Oh, wait. Okay, so I think I didn't fully integrate yet this function in the engine, and so I should manually here, like maybe on top of the console even, I should call editor message draw, right? So yeah, okay, so this works. So basically what happens is when I call editor show message or whatever, editor show message, let's look at the source. So the message is first of all copied into a static buffer, right? And the time is set to 0. Okay, and then this function that I just added the call to should be called every frame to draw whatever is in this buffer. And then this is the code that draws the text and progresses the timer to hide it after some time, fade it out. Right. And so ideally I would integrate those in the engine itself. Perhaps I could do that now, but it's not the most interesting. So, but let's go. Okay, it doesn't really take that much time. So let's do it. So I will replace this by this new name that is better. Seems like editor message show. I mean, arguably it's a little bit better. So I will just replace all. All right. Delete. And this one can be called. This one can be. Whoops, sorry. This one can be called. So we add the prefix of the engine. Editor message draw sounds good. Replace all. And lastly, ideally, I would want to not have to call message draw here at the end of the loop. So what I will do is extract it to the outer loop, which is in a file called runner. It has the main loop of the game, basically. Here. And I will draw. So there is many small things that are drawn here. Like for example, the editor tooltips. So what are the tooltips? The little when I hover something, I can specify some text to show in a tooltip, basically. Some overlays, debugger overlays, and this renders everything that we drew through the UI system. And so I should display, I think, the message just before rendering everything to with the UI system. That way it shows up on top of most things. Perhaps just the HUD should be on top. Okay, no compilation errors. And the message shows. So now that was another message by the asset system that is showing now. And if I save, yeah, it shows. Perfect. And just to explain the HUD thing, it's this. So these little graphs that allow me to monitor the performance of the game. Those are drawn from here. And the tooltips that I wanted to show is what is next to my mouse actually. This 2614. This is from debugging code for the tile map that we added on stream, I think, last time or the time before. All right. With that done, so now it's nice because the editor message will show whenever we called editor message draw or whatever, and show message show. Whenever we call that in any of the games I made with the engine, I won't have to manually call the function to draw the actual message at the end of the frame, which is pretty good, something that needed to be done anyway. Not super interesting for stream, I guess, although, yeah. Okay. Let me make my window a little smaller by default, so that I can see something. So default window, preferred window dimensions. That's the one. Vector 2 integer. Let's go with 1000 by 700. Oops. Perfect. Much better. Maybe a little better, bigger, so you can see better. Okay. Okay. Not bad. And so it doesn't hide the chat. If somebody speaks, I can see. What now? I think so now that the level is saved and reloads properly, one thing we need to do for the flute and the song system is sound in the game, to integrate some sound in the game. And to do that, let me check that the audio is coming through. I think it is. To do that, we need to. So what I think we could do is just import the music from the previous game or the original game and try to play it in the game, in the new game. For music, we got 2 wave files. So here you should hear something. Yes, I think it's working. I think they are layered basically. So this is the little synth that does the melody, and those are the drums that play alongside. Pretty subtle. So I think I'll just play both. I'll copy them. I suppose the idea was that it should be dynamic depending on what we do in the game, which I don't think was implemented in the original game, but we'll see. Maybe I will implement it because it would be kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, so let's do a subfolder for the audio, and we don't just have the 2 wave files for now, and maybe we can bring over some SFX as well. So we got the player singing sounds. Yes, that's the flute basically. Okay, let's bring them all over. Uh-oh. Okay, that's what I get for using a Mac. Kind of annoying. Oh shit, I moved them instead of copying them. We do that once more. Up. And what about the music? Did I copy it? Or okay, good, I copied it. Right, so audio, perhaps we do some subfolders? No, I won't bother. So SFX UI player sing short 1, 2, and 3, okay. Let's import the drums and melody. So let's check first how I did it in a previous game, because I don't remember exactly how it works. So audio or sound. So this was also a jam game, a different one. I can show you actually, if you want. Whoop. So it was a little island building game, pretty neat, with some dynamic music as well. Nice. Problem, I might get stuck playing this game now. Oh look, this is the dynamic music. So all in all, a pretty neat game. Yeah, I kind of want to do a good score now. I started playing not seriously, but now I kind of want to. 41, can I get to 50 at least? Yes, I think so. With this, with this, okay, maybe. Oh, it would be nice if we got some support here. I think it won't. It's not super serious, huh? I should be programming, but now I'm playing. Okay, 53, that's good enough. Okay. So, hey Rogers, thank you. This was a game made for the Ludum Dare, I think about 1 year ago or something, and the theme was limited space, and so we had the idea of making like an idle with limited space, both horizontally and vertically. That was a really fun time. I don't always enjoy as much as this one. Like, we managed to do something pretty cool, I think. So let's, the reason I was opening up this game was because I wanted to look at how the music was integrated, because I kind of forgot how it works. So we have a game asset struct with sound assets, music loops, okay, and then a bunch of SFX, okay. So I'll just bring that over to Wildwood Melodies. Game resources, that's the same kind of deal. This can basically be ignored. Actually, this one I don't think I need anymore. Did it compile? Yes, okay. So I put them here. Sounds. Music loop, we have 2 music loops actually. So that's good. And I'll keep like the SFX player flute, or just flute. We don't need to specify it's from the player, and we got 4 notes. So if you're not familiar with C, this is the syntax to declare an array with 2 slots, basically. You don't put it next to the type, which kind of makes sense. You do that in C#. You put it next to the variable. It's like you have 2 variables, basically. Okay, so we need to load the music at startup. Let's see how it's done in this game. In the init function, if sound is enabled, makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. I think I will just straight up copy this to my init function here. I guess can do it just before the generic load all, or we could just put it in load all. I'll put it here because reasons. So we have two music loop, we can get rid of this, and we got one SFX array for the flute. Flute, 4 notes. And so we start at 0, and we need to populate 4 slots. And load sound OGG. I think it was still. So the way I'm prototyping stuff in the engine is I declare, like I build functionality in the projects themselves, and then I bring it in the engine when it seems like it's a good design. And at this point, I didn't really finalize the audio thing with regard to loading files and compressing them automatically and integrating with the assets pipeline. So I'm still using the temporary functions. So I'm just going to cut and paste this huge load.gg sounds in the project Wildwood Melodies that we are working on now. It's a bit messy and stuff. I don't want to integrate in the engine right now. Although maybe I could, because then if we take this in, we need to include stb vorbis, which will slow down the compilation. I know I can just include the header and it's compiled, I think, separately with the engine, so that's all good. Vorbis. Oops. What was the... Yeah, I think it's just vorbis.h or .h. stb vorbis.c. Okay, it's different than the convention, the new convention for stb libraries. Interesting. How do we do it here? Do we integrate stb vorbis? stb... No. It's in the utils. ld stb vorbis header only. That's what I was looking for. Kind of weird. I don't want to have that in the final engine, like in the shippable engine code. So I should integrate it more deeply later on. So, okay. So, sorry, I just zoned out for a second. So what's wrong with that? Did I change some kind of... Yeah, but then why does it not tell me the same error in the other project? I don't know. Start and length. Right. Okay. Enable sound is not defined, of course. So I will just define it at the top. And then we can turn off sound if we want. Yeah. Perfect. Now those files, I think they are relative to the other project, LD 54 for Ludum Dare 54. We want to make them relative to Wildwood Melodies, which is the subfolder where I store the assets for Wildwood Melodies. And those are right. So this was just an experiment to use quite okay audio, but we want to use Vorbis because the files are much smaller in size. And I think, yeah, I'll use the same setup. Hold on. Okay, this is the other one. So for now we have wave files. Actually, I should maybe load the wave files. Do I, in this one, do I also load wave file? Load audio. Oh, it's in the utils, I guess. Audio. Or load sound. OGG and not wave. Okay. And how do I compress them? Since it's not automated at this point, would be nice if it was tightly integrated with the engine and automatic, but it's not yet. I've got all the OGGs and I've got the source. Okay, I see. And I OGG also the SFX, it seems. Which might not be the smartest thing, because they are small anyway. I think I had a script to compress them, basically. Let's search for it. I think it should be called compress sounds. Oh, hold on. Compress sounds good, but it should search from... Yeah, okay. Search the whole computer. Assets. Compress. That's right. That's the one. Okay, it was here. I missed it. Compress sounds. Understandable, since it's in the middle of other stuff. So we go in Wildwood Melodies and we paste the script, and it will help us compress the sounds when we want to do that. So that's to compress that's for the other format, quite okay. And that's OGG with FFmpeg, okay. So we don't need this. That's just, I guess, a leftover. Ah, okay, it compiles both. Okay. Oh, it compresses both. So we can just, for now, disable quite okay. Yeah, I think that should do it. And so we'll copy the structure of sound source and sounds source, which will contain the wave format sounds, and sounds compressed. Sounds compressed OGG, I suppose. That's right. Sounds OGG. Sure. All right. So if I double click that, I think it should already work. No. Okay. So we just go here. We go assets. We go Wildwoods and compress. Oops, sorry. So I first get into the directory and then code compress. And now we wait. Error obeying input, no such file now. Sound source. What the fuck? Ah, I guess I didn't put anything in the source. That explains it, but the error, I'm not sure what it refers to be honest. So sound source. Okay. Base name, full file. Sound source. SFX UI player section. Did it work for drums and melody? No. Hmm. Okay, let's try to... Yeah, I should really get rid of these manual processes. That's for sure, because it's super annoying to like debug shell scripts, even if they are in theory simple. What's that? Is it like the help of ffmpeg? Because the command is wrong or something? Okay, so let's just echo the full file thing. Okay, sound source drums. That looks correct to me. That looks fine. Then file name. Nothing. Okay, interesting. Base name doesn't work. Let's log both. Base name. Oh, sorry. So this gives us this, which is not correct, of course. So let's try base name in quotes, whatever full file is. That's correct. That's completely correct. So what's up with this then? Why doesn't it work? Doesn't it work? Yeah, oh, hold on. I mistyped or miscopy paste this. Okay. That explains some of it. Okay, so now we got, this is the full path, this is just the file. Right. Correct. Okay. Let's log more stuff. We got the extension. Yes, the extension is absolutely correct. And then finally this. Let's try these commands. Tools. Ah! So file name should be replaced by, for example, this melody. Okay, I don't fully get it, I guess. So I'm not super motivated to debug this, I have to say. Kind of wish I didn't have to do that. And get back to the fun stuff, but it's not the case. So So this, right, so it's file name, so it does contain the extension. So then I don't need the WAV here. Isn't that the problem? And if so, why is there this? What the fuck? Okay, so okay, so that was a problem. Very dumb. I don't know how this bug could survive, because it had to work before, so I don't know. Okay, so these are the sources, and these are the compressed OGGs, and let's just verify that they got compressed correctly. Like, let's open it in VLC or whatever. I hear something. That's good news. Okay, you can go VLC. Yeah, I mean, okay, it works. I'm happy. There is still, like, it would be maybe a little bit cleaner if we remove this wave extension, but that's okay. This one is the one that counts. So Wildwood melodies. So now let's try to get to the loading part, finally. We got this load sound OGG, which is going to look in this folder, Wildwood melodies sound OGG, and then take whatever we pass to it and add OGG to the file name. So what we'll need to pass to it is something ending in .wav. So that's also annoying, because it's kind of misleading. We say load sound OGG and we pass .wav, kind of not the best look. If we look at the other game, the Ludum game, here, assets LD 54, and we go to the sound. Those don't have the .wav before, so I have to have had a way to remove the .wav. Where is the compress? Here. Ah, this line. Okay, I don't know what I did, but I managed to fuck it up. So this line actually removes the extension. I don't know if I did a miss. Oh, starting to get annoying. Compress sounds. File name. So this is the one that works. Maybe I copied from another one. Not too sure. But I'll paste this one. Just comment out the quaconf. And try again. That works. Okay. Could have saved me half an hour. No, maybe not half an hour, but okay, that works perfectly. Okay, great. So we can go back to our stuff in Wildwood Melodies. So now there is a ton of OGGs, like they are duplicated, that makes sense. I'll just run the script one more time. They should appear here. It's always quite satisfying. Okay, melody appears, SFX appears, perfect. Right, now we want to load this one, okay. So going back to Wildwood, we want to load melody without extension. And we want to load drums. Perhaps it's the other way around, like first the drums and then the melody in logic order. Like because we want to maybe introduce the drums before the melody, I suppose. Should ask the musician. Maybe she has an opinion on that. Probably designed it some way. Like she probably has an intent with those two tracks. Okay, so we got 4 sounds for the flute. First sound, second sound. All right. Let's check that this at least loads. Like we won't hear anything, but if we don't have an error message or don't crash, it means we load the sounds properly. And then I think to play them it's super easy. I just have to, in the case of music, we can again look at how it works here, but I think it's in init. We load them and then we initialize the sound system. Good thing I checked the example. And then we start the music loop. So actually we were at the correct place. So we initialize the sound system and call sound play, passing the music loop at the volume of 1. And this is if it should loop or not. And it should loop because it's a music loop. Right. And then we save the handle here. That's so we can modify the sound after it starts playing, modify the volume. We don't need that at this point. All right, so now when I launch the game, I can hear the drums. And if I want to hear the melody as well, I can just play the second loop at the same time. It should be perfectly synchronized. And it works. I think it's a bit slower and lower than the originals. And that's probably because they have a sample rate different from what the engine supports or what the engine is set up to be. So that's 48 kilohertz. Is it also for the OGGs? Just checking, get info. Where is it? Maybe it doesn't have the info. Okay, Audacity. In the metadata, I meant go Audacity. Okay. Info. Oops. Info. Come on. I guess it created a project, so maybe Audacity cannot help me there. Alright, whatever. I think it's probably the same as the source files, like 48 kilohertz. And so what I should do is go to the audio system, not this one, the sounds. Okay, that's pretty old code that I wrote when I started doing the engine, but it still works pretty well. And I think this one, oh, okay, so we are already at sample rate of 40,000 hertz. So perhaps I was just hallucinating and it was already the correct. Okay, now let's compare to that. Actually, okay, so the source is lower than what we hear in game. Interesting. So the game is too high, too fast. So let's try this one, which is standard. Same thing. I think it didn't. Let's try again. Maybe it didn't finish compiling. Too low. Crap. Okay, so I need to know what sample rates those are encoded at. I'm pretty sure, so I cannot get the info from here. Maybe ffmpeg tells me in the logs, like in the output. Encoded by Reaper. Huh. So the output, OGG, so I'm looking for, oh, okay, 48 hertz or kilohertz. Well, then I don't know what's going on. Kind of annoying. Hold on. Listening again. Maybe I'm just... Okay. Not iTunes, please. Yeah, it's slower. I heard it. Oh, that's so annoying. So annoying. I don't understand exactly why. Perhaps it's in the OGG, load OGG thing. Maybe. Like here, I use a library called stbvorbis to decode. Perhaps this one does some... Oh. Sample rate. Interesting. But the sample rate, okay, so stbvorbis will tell me what's the sample rate that it decoded at, I think. Let's check the documentation. Decode an entire file and return the data interleaved into malloc buffer stored in output. The result value is the number of samples decoded, or -1 if the file could not be opened. Right, it doesn't talk about sample rates, that's too bad. Sample rate. Strange, usually the STB libraries have a good kind of explanations and documentation, but here, even in the examples, whoops. So if I go to top, probably there is some example somewhere. No. No. Okay, so I don't know. Let's check the returned sample rate. Let's try to do some progress actually. So decoded sample rate for the name of the file, codon the sample rate. I think this is a int, yes. And the name of the file will be file name. And decoded sample. Okay, so they have a... okay, so the melody and the drums are at 44,100. Okay. Which is different from 41100, okay. So I'll just add a layer like this. And we were at... we said it was... shit, I already forgot. Okay. 44,100. Sure. And it's a bit annoying because now I see the player flute is at a different sample rate. So maybe what we want to do is when we encode the OGG files, we switch the sample rate around. FFM tag sample rates, audio sample rate. If you that's annoying, the replies, Stack Overflow replies that say it's not the appropriate tool. Well, if it can do it, it's the appropriate tool. Stop it with these smug answers. So we got, right, I'll just try to copy this, so not this one, this is the other one. Whitewood, we convert a WAV file to an OGG file, and in between those two arguments, we put like this thing, 44100. That's the sample rate I just set now. And now I should run the scripts. Boop. And that's nice because the music will not have its sample rate changed. But the SFX, yes, they will. Okay, so now the music sounds good to me. Sounds like I'm used to. I think it's finally good. Yes. Alright, making slow progress. So it's not that fun of a stream, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So now, we've got our sounds. We've got the flute sounds as well. What about we try to play some flute sounds? So let's say when we press space, we play a flute sound. Or we could use the numbers, but I already used the numbers for the changing the characters. Although, yeah, wrong file, sorry. Keyboard, whoops, cannot type anymore. Keyboard commands. Yeah, this switches my character, but okay, let's say when I press a number key, any number key, I also play a flute sound on top of switching character. So sound, play, and then I pass the sound, so we got the flute, SFX, oops, wrong struct, GA, or res, SFX flute, and then pass the index. And then tell the volume to be a 1 and the looping to be false, so we don't get harassed by the flute sounds. What about this? What's up? Do we pass a pointer to the sound? Yes, for some reason. Okay, so two flute sounds. Perfect. Then, so now we are free to implement the flute playing, basically. Let me think. What I could do in the original game, you must press space. So I go here, I get the flute, press space, I hold space, and then I can press like 1, 1, 2, 4, and it plays the song. But I don't think it's the ideal interface. Spoilers! I love this guy. I love the sounds as well. They are so well made. And what I like as well, if you are a speedrunner, you can switch in mid-air, like jump with the frog. Ah, failed. But basically you can like jump and then switch to another animal and then use their power. So I could like project myself in the air. And I would like to keep that aspect. It's really neat. I really like the sounds. They are so good. Okay, so I'll keep the same interface actually. It's kind of cool that you can do many things at once, like move and play the flute at the same time. Maybe for the gamepad we need to think about it harder, but for now it will be just fine. And the way I intend to make it work, I suppose we can just go ahead and go like where the movement code is here and say just before, let's say, let me think. Actually, no. I'll go where we draw the player. And well, I guess after we draw the player and everything, we can overlay on top the flute UI. Flute UI. And the flute UI will be pretty simple. If you press space, if keyboard or key is down, key, space. If you're holding down space bar, the space bar, we will draw the flute UI. And the flute UI will be on top of the player, like we get the player position, and we make a rectangle out of it. Rectangle. I think there is like centered rect centered, sure. Centered, I suppose. And we give it a position and a size, and it will just make a rectangle centered around that position and at that size. Let's make a 100 by 100 or by 50 or something, or 40. Let's not forget we are in a pixel art thing. So that's a rectangle. I can store it here, and then I need to draw it. So draw rect up. The color will be white. Okay, good. So when I press space, there is a huge white rectangle on the screen on top, or literally on top of the player. But we want it above the player, right? So what we can do is add some we can modify the position of the player, like add to it some offset, something like this. Whoops. And make it a little smaller. I suppose it was a bit big. Not bad. So we kind of have to eyeball it. Good. And then we want to draw some nodes. You know what I'm thinking? Like, you know, in Animal Well, there is this there is also a flute, and you can play it by using the item, holding the use item button, and then with the stick, the left stick, you can aim in any direction, and it will do a different note depending on the direction. Maybe we could do something similar where you hold space and then you go right, left, up or down, since we have 4 notes. But that removes the ability to move at the same time, so maybe that's not the best. And we also, like, the UI is nice because you can see which note you played. So now I'm kind of wondering what approach would be best now. We cannot quite do the full melody. I mean, let's try something and then we can change later. Trying to draw some text in the box. Doesn't work. Because it's white, of course. I forgot about that. I guess we can like put a style. This is a bad API, by the way, don't look. Editor style. Editor. No, it's not editor style, it's style. Font style. Okay. Bad API. I need to rework that at ASAP. Where do I specify the color of this ice? Uh-oh. The color is here. Okay, so color black this time. What's the matter? Why don't you want? Ah, yes. Because if you don't specify a color, like this is a pointer, because then you can not specify the color and it will treat it as white. Little hack I had to do. Okay, so now there is a 1 here. Oops. And maybe you can make it a little bit bigger. I shouldn't have quit. 1. Yeah, it's very blurry because it's not like pixel art style. And we can center it. Align 0.5. Okay. And so the idea is that as we play the notes, we will add them to a little buffer and they will show up in this little box. It would be nice if we had a kind of a fake music sheet with the notes physically showing, like with a height and all. I think that would be so sweet. Oh yeah, I like this idea. Maybe I could pull up a sprite and start to work on this actually. So my idea is like to have some kind of, you know, a music sheet, a line of music sheets, like this, exactly like this. And as you play the notes, they show up on the lines, and you can see they're instead of a number, you can see the note, how high it is. Visually, that would be nice. And we can, like, of course, in music there is like 5 lines usually, or always, and we only have 4 notes, so maybe we can just put 4 lines, like creative license, right? Okay, I'll do that. Sounds fun to me, right? So RGBA, let's make it, so this rectangle is 80 by 20. Sounds about right. So 32 can be the height and the width. Let's take some margin. We can still draw it smaller. The width is, I think, pretty good. So 80 will do. Transparent backgrounds. Maybe we could copy the palette of the word, but I think it will be pretty simple. Like just that sounds good. Oops. We'll just make a background. How can I draw? Oh, can you hear? Isn't it beautiful? I think the the sound crashed basically. Oh no, it's just the end of the song. I thought it was stuck. Okay. So 4 lines. We need 4 lines. 1. Okay, already fucked. Okay. 2. A 3. No. Line. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There is probably a simpler way, but 3, 4. All right, nice. And now, so if I did, can I add a layer? I'm very new with a sprite. I mean, I used it for this German, that's all. And it was a while ago. How do I actually add one? New frame, that's not what I want. I want a new layer. Is there a layer window? I can't believe I'm stuck at adding a layer. Oh, that's the button? No. Layer new, that will do it. Okay. Okay, the layer 2 will be the nodes, and I'll draw the nodes with an ellipse. Something like this. Now should the nodes be perfect? So if you do that will be or something like this. Alright, I'm happy with that. And we could do a fake key here. Or not, I don't know. Let's put it just for the beauty, the visual beauty, but there is only 4 lines, so it makes little sense, to be honest. Okay, so perfect is on the other layer, that's exactly what I wanted. Up, copy. Oh, the audio is at the end. It really sounds stuck, but it's not. New layer, paste. Great. Okay, so node and lines. All right. I will just save this as sprite file. I want it saved obviously in the Wildwood thing, and it will be called music background. Right, and then a node should be exported as well. I want to export only the node. I don't know if I can do that easily. Export. Not really, huh? Doesn't seem. Maybe right click export. So it's, what size is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. God damn. Can I just select? Oh, I see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's strange. It looks much wider than tall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7 by 9. New 9, 7. Transparent. We want to copy this. I think it got copied, it's just out of sight and out of mind. Where is it? Oh. What? No, sorry. It's such a ridiculous problem to have. So I pasted the notes, but it's not visible. It's in the background somewhere. Okay, let's try to maybe select part of the layer that we are interested in and paste it. Okay, that's better. All right, finally. Just for a simple ellipse. Music notes. Okay. And then we want to export that. Export as a PNG. Resize. Sounds good. Export as PNG. Sounds good. Doesn't support layer. That's no worries. It's just an export. Alright. Now, so I'll quit the game, even though the music is nice. And where we import all the stuff, import assets, we will import also music note, music BG for background, music BG, music note. It's currently a little bit redundant. We have to type the same names many times. I will generate that code later or make it in some way better. I think there is one more. No. Yes, here. And nope. It has a historical reason why it's like this. And I'm slowly moving away from that. Should be the top priority, to be honest. It's nice that I use the engine like this, because I see the pain points. And then I can improve on the pain points. So music BG, music note, music BG, render. So where was I before? Here, flute UI. Great. So in this rectangle, we can also draw, instead of a white rectangle, we can draw the music BG. By the way, the music BG, is it basically a sprite or an image? Image. Okay, good. I think it was 32. So 32. Draw image. Shit. Draw image. The handle, the rectangle that we calculated already, and some color. Interesting, I didn't remember you had an ability to pass a color here. Not really needed, because you can tint in other ways what you draw. Doesn't show. It doesn't show. Why? I don't know. Let's also draw the rectangle just to be... Ah, that's the nodes, that's not the lines. I think I mixed them up at some point. Music notes, music BG. Ah, okay, I exported wrong the music BG. Whoops. that was pretty dumb. Music BG exports. What was, by the way, export for Twitter? Oh, what the fuck? Okay, that's pretty niche. Does Twitter even exist anymore? Not bad. Oh, this is kind of ugly. I should do it better if I can. I don't know why it seems much more ugly in game than here. let's retouch it a little bit. Okay, so I can erase. Oops. So we want to get rid of these bulky shapes. Maybe I remove this one. Kind of like this music. Pretty peaceful. Okay, maybe for here we leave it like this. And we could try to imitate a pen drawing style somehow. Like if I look at the proper one, it's more, the width is thicker, it's thicker in diagonal lines like this. And then at the end here it's it has a little bowl. Which doesn't look too bad, I think. So thicker like this, okay. Thicker here. And thicker here. I guess. It looks so silly. But it's not too bad. It's not. Alright, maybe I can make it a little bit more colored. If I look at the game, maybe we can use this dark color. So we could pretend that the pen had or was like a writing pen, you know, in blue, and the notes as well. But the lines were let's see what we could use. Maybe this. Why don't you want me to draw? Okay. This default palette is so good. I love it. And the notes can have this color. Maybe that's slightly better? Or should it be like red to really show? Ah no, that's really ugly. Maybe the notes only. Okay, let's try only the notes in red. So I export once more. Repeat last export, perfect. That's not the same. Did I mess up the... Whatever. Up, up, up. I should remove this alert. Export. Up. Control alert. Up. Okay, that's already a little bit better, although still ugly, but better. And we should do something for the border as well. Maybe we do that now, because otherwise I will never do it. So the background, basically, I think it's this one. We want to make it smoother. Just like a thought bubble, you know. Oops, I missed it. The last. Maybe that's fine. Do not show, please. Oh, it's white here. Okay, maybe one of the warnings was about transparency actually. Exports. This is properly transparent. It's just I'm drawing a white rectangle below. That's the reason that it wasn't transparent. What about now? Okay, much better. That's good. That's pretty good. Make it a little higher up. Perhaps. I think that was this one. Okay, a little less. Okay, good. And then instead of drawing text, we want to draw nodes. So maybe we can already try. We can put a loop. We have 4 possible nodes, and so first node should be about here. Let's try to draw it manually. Rect. Node rect should be relative to the actual. So first of all, the sizing. The sizing. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Serving should be 9 by 7, and then the positioning relative to the parent should be kind of a weird way to do it. Maybe I do it like this. 9, 7 for the sizing, and relative to the background, we can place them, say 5, 10, something, and then we draw them. So draw music BG, music notes. So what did I forgot the comma? Forgot to use the correct rectangle. Alright, so more to the right. That's where a visual editor would be kind of nice. Save, okay, great, maybe perfect. In height, so let's try to put it on the first line from the bottom. Oh, that's perfectly the second line, okay. So I think, oops. Interesting. When it was perfectly the second line, I think it was 10, right? I know. 44, okay. not super concentrated. Okay, 5 pixels per line then. Okay, so times, or plus 5 times I. Great line. And then horizontally, let's try 6. Oh, it should be definitely more since one node is 9 pixels wide. Not bad. Great, so we got 4 nodes, each at a different height. Now we need to draw the actual nodes that we are playing. And for that, we need a buffer to store the nodes that we are playing. And the buffer will be stored in the game state. So let's head to the game states. Game state, come on, up. And let's add an array of node indices. So played loads. And it will be an array of 4 elements, right? And we'll do the logic right in the UI, because why not? So if you hold space and you hold any of the, or press down any of the numbers, so key just pressed, key 1, for example, then we want to queue or add a node to the game state played node. And so we need to know in which slot to add the node. So we need the count of how many nodes were already played. And let's pretend that this count is at 0. Then we will. It means that we will access the first slot of the array, and then write in it which node we played. So that in this case it would be 0, because it's the lowest node. And once we wrote to that slot, we want to increment the played node count, because the next one should be in the next slot. Easy. And by the way, when we are not holding the spacebar, else we want to clear the played nodes. So what we could do is simply set played node count to 0. And maybe to... no, I think that's enough, because in this loop that draws the node, we can just draw as many nodes as played node count. So if we have 0 nodes, we draw 0 nodes, and so we don't need to clear the array necessarily. So here we have already 2 nodes, interesting. Okay, good, so when I press 1 more node is drawn. If I press 1 now, it will probably get out of bounds, right? It will access the 5th, or here it will loop 5 times and access. Actually, it doesn't access anything, so that should be fine. But if I press once more, interesting. I didn't expect that. No idea why it does that, to be honest. But what I know is I'm not holding down space, so I don't understand why it's still drawing. Let's reboot. Okay, fixed. So maybe there was some weird bug with the memory layout that I changed. Not too sure. Okay, I got an idea for the lines. What if it's beige? What if it's beige or brown? What do you think about that? Kind of goes well with the blue, or am I just being silly? Maybe a little darker. I'm not an artist, by the way. I have no idea about about good taste, let's say. pretty. But for me, it looks kind of pretty. No, I don't know. Imagine something kind of less saturated. Was that this before? No, it was this. So maybe we try this one. I love the palette. I said it already, but up. Oh crap. Oh, we have one extra pixel on the key here. Maybe we can make the lines a little bit longer. No. Yeah. Yeah. Hide the notes, otherwise I will think there is a bug. Save, export. Let's try the last export thing with the shortcuts. I don't know why it does this, because I don't really care about this one. Just want up. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, when I will add the sky, the whole color contrast and dynamics will change. So I don't know if I should spend too much time on the colors yet at this point. Nobody in the chat. Okay. So now I want to look in the played notes array to and retrieve each note so that I know at what height I should draw the note. Note height. I think it should go here, line. Yeah. For now, I only enter note at in the first line, like in the first note. So I should either duplicate this for time, or I could make it in like I could do it in a loop. Oops, sorry. So for loop or for int I 0 I smaller than 4 I plus plus, and can just use the key code plus whatever number we computed, and then here we just add I instead of 0 to the note buffer. Perfect. So now I can draw any pattern. And by the way, I do not think I don't understand why it allows me to draw. I really don't get it. Why it doesn't crash, basically, because the played notes count is ever increasing as I play notes. But it doesn't like draw out of the box or anything. So perhaps, what should we do? So of course, I say what should we do, but I'm more wondering what's happening exactly. I don't know. But of course, we should check like what happens, or decide what happens when we draw, like when we enter too many notes. When there are 4 notes, we need to do something. So either the notes were correct and we switch to another type of animal, all the notes were wrong and we need to reset after maybe a little delay. I wonder how it works on the original game in terms of... So this is wrong, but it stays and after a little delay it clears. I think that's a good way to do it. I think that's a good way to do it, and we can also have a delay for the for closing the box when we... or whatever, we'll see. Okay, so let's add this delay. And in any case, once there are 4 nodes, we don't want to accept any more nodes. So what we can do, I could add it here, but I'll add it here instead. If the numbers of played notes is smaller than 4, we can play a new note. Otherwise, we can do like some kind of feedback, we'll see. Perhaps we can close or reset the numbers of notes. Let's reset. And also we should play the sounds, because right now we play the sounds up there. That was just a test, so we want to play it down here. We play it only if we successfully added the note to the buffer, the played notes. And by the way, I want to make it a little subtler or less loud. And this should be, that's already correct, it should be I. Perfect. It should be I, and this should be lower, it's still a little bit loud. Cool. Okay. Now let's do the metamorphosis, like the swapping between states. Instead of using the cheats here, maybe we can move that to the function key. So key F1, F2, F3 will, and also will be used to cheat and change form. And also we can make it so it's only in a package in dev builds, basically. So if not defined packaged build. So packaged build is the term I use for the build that ships, or that stands alone, that doesn't need like where everything is packaged, basically. And so if we are in this case, we don't do the cheat, and we don't want also the editor probably, and this as well, and this as well. So we can just put everything here in package build. Okay. So I guess, okay, so now we want to check in the flute UI thing when we have, so when we just enter a new note and we have 4 notes. We want to check if the pattern matches any pattern that we have in store. And so so how do we do it actually? How do we check? How do we check that the array matches a pattern? Do we want... A function, probably check pattern node. Dun, dun. Yeah, I guess we could just do it inline, like plate node 0 equal no, it will be too ugly. Check node. So the first pattern is something like this. That would be 0023, I think. So perhaps I can have a function like this. So the downside of having huge functions is you have to scroll a little bit far. I should maybe split it because of this, but I don't know. Check nodes, int a, int b, int, or n1, n2, n3, something, and 0, n1 for node 0, node 1, node 2, and node 3, and then node 0 equal n0, and right. Okay, so we got the we check that all the past nodes match the nodes that we have in the game state, simply, and then we return true if they match. Easy peasy. And if this pattern matches, that means that we have the frog. So the what is it? Player. What was it? Player. Character mode. Okay. Player or character mode would be, oops, car mode frog. Then we can check for other patterns, but if no pattern matches, then we want to go back to the kid form. So frog, kid, kid. Perfect. Perfect. That's that. Now, what we could do now is perhaps add the frog here, first of all, and make it itself sing its song. Also, we need to pick up the flute. Also, so we need to pick up the flute. I think I will put the frog first on the... So what I'm thinking, sorry, I'm pausing a lot, but what I'm thinking is it would be nice if the frog was visibly singing and some notes were going out of the frog's mouth. Just like this. But it would be nice if it reflected the height of the notes in some ways. Maybe they fly. Like maybe they go out of the mouth and kind of draw the pattern in the sky or on the background, because a lot of people have a problem like picking up the melodies. Like not a lot, but some part of the population has problems reproducing a pattern, an audio pattern that they hear. So it would be nice if we had a visual counterpart, I think. Oh, we so need the SFX for the frog. You know what? Let's implement the SFX for the frog. Because I kind of want to. If you hear... Oops. Okay, so there is multiple sounds going on at once, I think. Let's gather them. Frog? Oh yeah, there is a ton of sounds. We don't need the import ones, so maybe I've got a... Amazing, okay. They are so good. Thank you, Quentin. They are really good. Sounds source. And we can run the little script that converts the WAP files to OGG files. Okay, we got the WAP files, and now we just have to wonder if those are used. I think they are. So yeah, close this one. Okay, sometimes there is an idle sound, okay. If I don't do anything, does the idle sound still come on? No. Okay. Let's load more SFX. So we want SFX frog, charge. We want jump, and we want land. And we also have idles. Great. And maybe I can quickly count how many of each. So we have 2 idles, we have 3 chair charge, so 2 idles, 3 charge, 4 landing, and 3 jump. By the way, what is, I just saw players sing short. Oh yeah, okay, I thought it was related to the frog, but no, it was just a flute. Okay. Okay, so now we need to load the frog sounds, and we can do that here. SFX. We have charge, jump, and idle. I can maybe copy, I can use multi-cursor, copy all of them, and put them back here. How many are there? 4, okay. So if I knew how to use multi-cursor more efficiently, it would be useful, but I don't really, to be honest. Why 0, 1, 2, 3? Ah, shit, I just overwrote. What am I doing? Okay, so for those, tick, tick, tick. All right. And we have 3, 3, 4, 2. So 3, 3, 4, 2. Ideally, in the future, it would also automatically like load all the variation depending on the suffix of the file name. But yeah, do that later. Maybe I should do streams where I fix every single problem that I find in the engine. That will surely improve the engine a lot, but it would be very boring for people watching, if there are any. But maybe I should just do whatever sounds more useful. Dun, 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 dun. Because this is not super entertaining either, I would say. So 4. Oh shit. Where are they? No, 3. Okay, good. Then jump. Jump, 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 jump. That's release. There are 3 of those. 2, 3. And finally, landing. By the way, everything, like all of this should be packaged tightly in a data file. That's the case for the sprites and all, the images, but not the sounds yet. So that's also interesting. What's the warning here? Yeah, past year, yeah. So frog charge, we had 3 of those. Looks about correct. Okay. Oui. Okay. So does that work correctly? Let's launch the game to see. It seems to load without problems. That's a good sign. Okay, now we just need to play the charge sound when we start charging the jump. Jump charge. So I guess if the jump charge is at 0 when we are here, it means we can start playing jump charge sound. right? So sound play res charge, and we'll play sound 0 for now, and the volume should be maybe low enough, and it's not a loop, so false. False. My god. Okay. What's wrong with that now? It should be a pointer, right? I'll leave a comment here saying I should maybe not take a pointer. Oh, here. Okay. That should be already good enough for a basic charge sound. Perfect. But I think in the original game it gets interrupted once you are not charging anymore. So to do that we need to store the handle of the sound. So this will return a handle, an integer actually, which is a handle. And then we can use that handle to stop the sound. Stop. Perhaps we should have a proper type for the handle. So I'll call it perhaps frog sfx frog charge. And we can say then when this is 0, we want to start a new one and assign it. And then we need to stop it somewhere. So I guess that's kind of complex because if we switch to some other animal, we also want to stop it, I guess. But actually it will stop by itself pretty shortly, so I think it's no problem if we only stop it in the case where we are not charging, basically. So in this case, we want to stop the SFX of the frog. Sound, stop, and we pass the handle to the sound, the playing sound. Now we just need to declare this handle. SFX, our playing sounds. This is an int. And so now when we try to jump with the frog, this still works, and if I do a very short charge, now it doesn't. Now it doesn't work anymore at all. Because, oh yeah, of course, because the sound is not playing anymore at this point. Okay, so maybe the jump charge player. Oh, it was just jump charge. Jump charge equals 0 is actually the good approach. Oh, what happened there? Okay. Oh wait, okay, no, I changed some gameplay logic by mistake. I meant to change this, yes. Jump charge equals 0. Then we play the sound. Play SFX, charge SFX. Oh. Whoops. What did I do? This is unchanged. This is the only thing that changed. So if it recompiled fine. Okay, seems like the jumping is working again fine, but the sound is not triggering anymore. Ah, because we increment the charge first. Okay, got it. Well, we can just play the SFX first, and then... Right. And now we can hear it get stopped, the sound, when if I just do a very short charge. It barely has the time to play. Does it do the same here? Get the flutes. Oops. Yeah, basically yes. Interestingly, it doesn't move. Ah, yes it does. Ah, there is this little... okay. Okay. But I guess there is the landing sound that kind of make it less abrupt. So let's implement the landing sound. Below. So if so this if gets this path gets taken when we hit something below us, so when we are grounded basically. So what I want to detect is when do we become grounded basically, because this is continuously called when we are on the floor. So maybe I could just put the SFX here directly, because I just need a way to detect that we were... So what about this? If I just have one, I keep track of if the SFX is playing or not, and if it's not playing, I start grounding SFX, and otherwise I don't start it. Just this. So SFX frog landing sounds. Oh, it's already already a SFX up. So if it's 0, well, let's go like this. Grounded false. If we have a collision at the bottom, grounded becomes true. Then later on, maybe here, landing SFX, we can check for if we are grounded. If we are grounded, and if the frog landing SFX playing, how did I call the other one? SFX frog charge. I guess I could say like playing SFX. So if it's at 0, if it's not playing basically, we want to start it. So we go sounds, play, and then play the SFX at volume. We'll have to see if we can like play them all at the same volume. What volume did I play the other? 0.4. It's not a loop. And then we assign that to this. Plop. And then, if we are not grounded, we reset this to 0, right? And then, hopefully, oops, yeah. And this I can rename playing SF, as opposed to like storing the SFX itself. How do I, what was the shortcut to replace? I want to learn this shortcut. Replace Alt Control F. Nope, doesn't work. Alt Command F. Oh shit. That's why I wanted to rename, because it was kind of a name collision. Like even if they are not in the same struct, it seems wrong to name it the same. Alright, and that conveys better that it's an actual playing SFX, not just the SFX. Oh god. Please. Playing SFX. Perfect. It doesn't work. I don't hear any landing sounds. So let's see. Playing SFX or landing. I didn't compile. Oh, this one again. So what about I fix this one? What? Why doesn't this fix it? Ah, okay. This is the... this should be the resource. And yeah, see what I said about naming them the same, that was a bad idea. So this should be SFX prog land. Ah, heard it. Great. A bit loud, but it works. Actually a bit strange, no? That will do. So let me think a little bit. I want to implement the... So just one question that comes to mind. This will play even if you are the kid, I think, currently. Yes. Plop. Is it a problem? Do we have a landing sound for the kid? I don't think so. Move grass. Oh, that's the footsteps. I should implement that as well. Maybe I want to end the stream soon, but maybe I still have time to implement the footsteps. So I think no, we don't have to answer my previous question. We don't have a landing sound for the human, I don't think. We could play a footstep as a landing, but we can also just use the frog one. It seems generic enough. Yeah. Now, what we really want is randomize the different sounds that we play. And we can do that, I think, easily. We have arrays of fixed size for each SFX. So what we can do is pick randomly in an array. So let's go with random or rand in range, random in range. It would be nice to have a function that picks in an array, right? So it could be like rand pick in array. So I'll just run in array. So let's add it to the utility functions. So I go random in range seems kind of related. So we can do shit, the array can have any type, so we need to make a macro basically. That's no problem. We don't shy away from a macro here. Pick from random in array, I said. Okay. So that would be, here we have the array. Maybe the count. So we can use any kind of array, even like dynamics, like dynamic arrays, pointers. And that's it. That's all that's needed, I think. So what we really want to do is access the array at an index that is random from 0 to count exclusive. So we can just take this function 0 to shit, we need the seed, that's right, to the array length, which is count. Easy peasy. That's kind of a utility thing, and we just put it in the header since it's a macro. Looks a bit weird in the header like this, but returns self-explanatory, no need for documentation for this case. So runs in random in array. Okay, fine. So I guess this is the array. Oh, the seed, I forgot the seed to pass the seed. So seed should be the first thing. Okay. So the seed, you need to pass it to all the random functions, which is super annoying, to be honest. That's also something I need to fix urgently, because each time it's powerful in a way, but annoying to set up each time in it. So by default, you should not have to provide a seed, I think. And then if you want to, you can. We initialize the seed with the time, which is the okay way to do it. For game, it's fine. And so we pass the seed here as a point, like as a reference, basically. No, we don't pass it here, we pass it here. We already do. Okay, and then that's the array. And now the count. So rlen is my macro for the count, for the length of an array. What about this? It says that it converts to an int. But no, this is not an int, so what's the matter? Between pointers to integer types. Oh yeah, okay, I finally got it. So this is an integer, not an unsigned integer, like it should. So that's a shorthand. Comes from here. Okay, interesting. So I'll just use the full name up. Still problematic. Right, this one should be a pointer. So I think I should take note of engine changes that I really want. No point sound play should not take a pointer to a sound, just the sound, because that I bumped into that like 5 times. So what did we have? Random functions should really not have to take a seed by default, but you should be able to pass one, of course. And then there was a third thing that was quite annoying. I don't remember which. Don't remember. Maybe it will come back. So this plays a random sound from the array. Let's try it out. That's the charge sound. I think it works. Perfect. I'm happy. Great. How does it work in the Godot project? I'm actually curious now. Frog. Provided that I can read the, like, understand what the scripts are and stuff. So frog, is there a sound thing? It has to be triggered from here, right? SFX sounds. Audio. What about I search the whole thing? Open in File Manager. Scripts. I open that in Visual Studio and I find audio. Random sound player, that must be it. It checks that you don't play the same sound twice. That's pretty neat. I was wondering about that exactly. Audio stream. So the player has a sound player. And the audio stream player to the sound player, sorry, has a list of sounds. Okay, I see. And there's a list of sounds. Because the player does multiple sounds, that's why I'm wondering, like, there is the footsteps, but there is like the frog. Frog. Does it extend? No, character body. Then slide. Jump. Oh, also exclamation mark, like I did jump. Except that puts more. Whoops. Oh yeah. That's pretty small for you. So how does the sound get triggered when you jump? Maybe this is not used. Maybe this is some... Ah, yeah, that's the sounds thing. Sprite. For Glen player. I see, okay, so there is a player per kind of sounds, basically. And that's probably an object in the scene. Release player, yeah. I see, okay. Gotcha, got it. So we should probably have some kind of way to also store which sound was played last and avoid it, because I think that's very sensible. So we don't play twice the same sound. Like this. Or this. Or this. Playing SFX for charge. So that's easy, we just need to have a function that takes in the previously played sound, which we store already here, and doesn't select it, basically. Problem is, this is a macro so that I can use this syntax to access the item. Maybe we just don't use it anymore. So we just do like sounds for SFX play random, and then a pointer to the array, right? And the last playing sound. And if we want the length of the array, we need it to be a macro. because we don't want to type each time the length of the array, right? So what we can do, let me split editor, right? Just go here. It's kind of getting a bit messy, but maybe we can have a section for the audio. Maybe I make new file sometime. So int sfx play random, and then we take in the array of sounds. So that would be, hold on, what's the type of this? RDX sound. That would be sounds. Oh, and I said it should be a macro. So maybe let's do the implementation first. Sounds len last played. And so just so I don't forget, I'll do the macro now. That's the same name without imp, and sounds array and last played. And this becomes this, but using size, rlen to pass the length of the array. And this, of course, should be called imp. And now we can use like this. We can use this line in here. And first we'll select, so we'll do it in two phases. First we'll select the sound. And we'll have to do that in a loop. That's one of the rare cases where a do-while makes sense, in my opinion. We take a random sound, and then if the sound is equal to the last played sound, so we need a way to retrieve what sound was the last play sound. Sound stop. I think I'll use that. Playing sound handle, so last played. And then I can get access to the actual sound, I think. Yes. And how is it implemented? Like, does the sound get somehow copied, or can I compare the address of the playing sound, or the sound of the playing sound? Where do we add a new sound? Sound stop, sound play, playing sounds, sound. Okay, so we don't copy anything, which means we should be able to just compare the pointer. I believe. I know, because we just copied the sound here. Oh wow, I think that's probably means it would not work if we passed a sound that was temporary. Oh god. Ah no, never mind, we do copy it, sorry. We do copy it, I think. Ah, okay, so it's even worse than I thought, because this sound, if it's passed by pointer, but it was from like the stack of the color, then this will become invalid. So that's pretty bad. I think when I wrote that, I was just starting with C and didn't fully understand or I wasn't fully careful. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, this wouldn't actually work, I think. What I can do is take the address of the random thing, and that would work. That would work, I believe. So pointer is null, then we take the address, and then we can just compare like this. Doesn't want to take the address because it's written from, no, it's written from a macro, so it should work in theory, I believe. Nope. Why? That's kind of strange. Expands to this. I should be able to take the value, like the pointer to this, so that's super strange, maybe with some parents. Okay, never mind. Just copy this then. Like this works, right? This frog charge. This is the array, and this is the length. Count. Right, that seems to kind of compile. We do have an error here, but it's about the return type, so that's fine. And we cannot take actually the length of, like we cannot use this directly. What the hell? Not sure. I'm not sure exactly what I did here. The count will be from sounds len. And then, okay, finally. So we pick a sound. If the sound is the same as the one that we were playing last, we pick again. Then we play the sound. And then we return whatever, like the new playing sound, basically. And then we can use that here. So we first pass the array. We use the macro, so it counts automatically the number of variations, and then we pass the last played, which will be 0 initially, but then we set it directly like this. All right. Maybe we can take it by reference, so we don't have to type it twice. Might save us some headaches with some bugs where I mistype the playing SFX variable. And if we do that, then we have to accept here click like this, so it's more clear. We have to accept a pointer here, we have to dereference the pointer here, and then, oh, and then I forgot to assign it actually. I know, I just returned it. Yes, I just returned it, but now I want to assign to it. And here, make it void. All right, does that work? No, it crashes. That's C for you. Segmentation port. What's wrong? So is it... Ah, of course. It's not C for you because it would not have worked like in, let's say, C# or whatever. It would have given us a null ref exception because that was... No, it was not a null pointer because it was a pointer to this. It couldn't have been a null pointer. Let's put a little breakpoint and go in a little debugger. We want to debug Whitewood melodies. Go. I love this audio freezing effect. So the sound that was picked exists. Last played as a value of 0. Ah, of course, that's where it's segfault because this function is not really safe, hence the temp, I guess. And it if you pass to it some sound that doesn't exist, you cannot try to dereference it here to get the sound, right? So I need to check. So playing sound or something, playing sound. While playing sound is not null, and playing sound oops, is equal to sound. That should work. Of course, we don't have access to this variable which is inside, so we have to get rid of this and do it like this. Break. Oh, so we break if the playing sound doesn't exist, or well, hold on. What I could do, which would be kind of easier, oops. So I leave this untouched. I just check that last played is not 0. that's way better. Last played is not 0. And okay, so if all of this is true, it means that we need to re-pick a new sound because we picked the same sound that we played last. Shit. So again, segfaults in play random, it doesn't give the proper line. I don't know why. Kind of annoying. Once more. So let's debug. Okay. Let's play this 0 normally, so it should go out. I suppose I suppose this function is pretty bad if it doesn't find the sound, it returns null. I mean, it's not bad per se, but yeah. So we can do what I wanted to do first. Oops. Heck. Okay, then I'm typing in the other side. Ah, I hit this, okay. Playing sound PS, and this will be assigned to this anyway, even if it's no, not this, okay, to this, even if it's possibly null. So while, so I cannot do this anymore, but I can do like if PS equal 0 or PS sound equal last no, sorry, the sound that we picked, then we need to break. Sorry, if it's not equal, because that's the condition for a correct pick. Doesn't work. Clearly there were twice the same sound. So it doesn't work. Which sucks. Let's try to play some other sound. So okay, I'll go back to the solo view because with this size of font it's not really workable. So let's try with some other sounds. Let's try with the flutes, because those are much easier to teleport. The fuck? Why did I hear frog instead of a flute? Now it's a frog, what? Is it compiled properly? Yes. That's a frog, that's not a flute. What the hell? Oh my god. So, what's going on now? That sounds good. Ah, wow. This is wrong. This should be, of course, this should be this, right? Don't know why I missed that. Okay, good. Now it's playing flute sounds, and I can check that there is no twice the same sound. No, 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 no. Twice the same sound. No, 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 no. I think I understand. The problem is, well, the problem is we reset it to, to 0 the last played. I think that's the problem. Yeah. Simply, like when we Maybe we don't reset it to 0, although we do for some other to interrupt the charges effects. I know we don't set it to 0, but wait. Yeah, I mean, I think I see the problem. The sound system probably just removes the playing sound once it's finished, right? Huh? That sounds pretty bad. Although I never had an issue, but that sounds bad. So it's removed, which makes sense. We lose that information. We lose which playing sounds since it's just a handle. Maybe the playing sounds, like the play sounds, should return a public playing sound struct that has that is a copy actually. Maybe that should be done like this, yeah. That when you play a sound, you return a playing sound handle struct, sorry, which has the handle. And then you can check which sound it was. Hmm. Or the other option is to have to keep track of the last index played, basically. I think that's the more sane way, but it annoys me because then I have to add some variables. Like where I use on the usage side, how would it look if I had maybe here I have a struct called like playing specs, and it has a playing sound handle and last play effects variation index, something like this. And then this and this are such things. And then this gets passed like this, and this can use the last plate, no, the handle. And then this takes, I think that will work out. I think that's probably the way. So no, that was a playing SFX. So playing SFX without the T, and then playing SFX, and here, whoops, playing SFX, and can remove this ugly function that we hate. We can pick an index only. Picked index, and then that will be the index. We can remove all of this, which is nice, and we can compare the picked index with the playing SFX last played variation index. And then we should not forget to set this to picked index once we are happy. And so yeah, while we keep picking the same index, we repick. We loop until we pick a different index. Then we start the index that we picked, and then we play finally the sound. We can return then the handle, why not? Actually, I know we need to set the handle of the playing SFX to whatever handle is returned by sound play, and the sound itself comes from sounds at the index that we picked. And it's a pointer for some reason. We need to fix that urgently. But I wrote that here. Okay. It failed to compile. I just saw, of course. So now we need to check like if the handle is 0. Here we just set the handle. Actually, we will convert it. So now the flute should be always play different sounds. No problem detected. That's great. Let's go back to the good old proper sounds for the frog. Jump, SFX, charge. Okay, that's the one. SFX, frog, charge. And we want to also, for the landing, use the proper sound. Where was it? So that's the collision thing. Hold on, I already had a grounded thing. Then why? I remember adding grounded here. Oops. It's kind of wrong. How did it work before? Like, how come it worked? I'm stumped. The hell? Always interesting when I don't really understand why it works. I'll do it the proper way then. And we want to play a random sound effect instead of this crap. Yep. This will get set. So not charge, but land. This will get set for us. And then we can just put it to 0 here if we want, that's fine. I guess that's different landing sound. This one was very different. Yes. Cool. Is it normal that there is two sounds at the same time? Is it like in the original? Like the frog. Let's check those. Charge. No. There is no at the same time as a... What the fuck? So what is this? It's not from Godot, no. It's from the landing. The landing sound have some... Okay, so we cannot play the landing sounds for the kid. Good to know. That's only... That's if we are in frog mode. Or frog mode, frog, 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 finally up. And if we are in kid mode, actually I think I should just put that inside, you know, because the landing sound, you want them for all characters, probably, or almost all. That will be the frog one, and then for the other, it will be just a kid step. SFX. Let's bring in the human footsteps. This one, and there are 6 of them. SFX kid footstep. And there are 6 of them. Oops. Idle res 0 load sounds. This will be kid footstep. No. Okay. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And now here, if we are not a frog, we play the footstep. So footstep. We also want a playing SFX kid landing, or kid footstep, whatever. Kid. Actually, no, it needs to be the landing specifically. So we can just say this becomes SFX landing. God damn, why? I think it needs to compile properly before it can rename, but that's super annoying. But anyway, that's just the same one. And we want to say no, it just refuses. It used to work, so I'm kind of disappointed. Landing. Okay. Crash. Doesn't find the sound. Probably because I didn't run the script to convert to OGG. Hello. Huh? Small buffering bug. Okay. Great. Heard the sound. That's the frog, I guess. And footsteps playing when you step down, that's good. Now, last thing, so it's getting late, but last thing I want to do before stopping the stream is the footstep of the kid. Hey, Elias, I didn't see you. And Luca, hey guys. Is it normal your head is at the center of the whole screen? What the fuck? I bet it's a joke. Oh no. No, it's not normal. Shit. Crap. Well, that's pretty bad. Where is the... Usually there is a panel here to get the objects of the thing. Okay, I guess. No, I don't know why it's so big. Probably got resets and I didn't see. Thanks for letting me know. I guess this is better. Don't know if you've been here long, staring at my face in big. But I was just doing some sound effects. So now you can play a little song and transform into a frog and jump around and then go back as a kid. And now I want to do the footsteps of the kid. Hopefully I manage, because I'm going to stop the stream pretty soon. Let me put the chat then up here. Coding in the train. You're doing the train jump again. Arriving in Lausanne now. Oh yeah, I guess you were at giving some courses at the school. Alright, so For the footsteps, better. I didn't see. For the footsteps, so I'll go where I do the animation, like kind of manually. Draw player and check where we swap frame. I think this is where we swap frame. And if we are in the kid form, probably want to play a sound every 3 frames or something. So we check first in the game state if we are in kid mode, basically. Mode, kid. And if it's the case, we want to play the sound. Let's try to play it every frame for now. So SFX play random, and then the resources, the run, kid footstep, that's the one. And we need to add a playing SFX to keep track of which one was played last, basically. So playing SFX footsteps, steps up, and this needs to be passed as a pointer. All right, playing sound for the footsteps, and now when we move, every frame we should get a sound. So it might get a little loud. Yes, perfect. Ship it like this. By the way, Luca, I didn't see your message either before. I hope maybe you're still here, but I hope you didn't have to wait too long with my face in the middle of the screen. Okay. So we should also check that we are actually running to play the footstep sound. Step. Not the correct one. Yep. And no problem. Running. So if we are running, we play the thing, and we shouldn't play it for every frame, right? We should play it only. So let's check actually. Let's go to the kid spreadsheet and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess every 3 frames we should play a footstep sound, and we'll not really bother about aligning it for now. So every 3 frames, so that would be game state, player anim frame index, modulo 3, that must be equal to 0. Pretty good. Pretty good, I'm buying it. Pretty good. Should it be a little bit earlier, maybe? Maybe. I just add 1. Or remove 1, I guess, if I want it to be earlier. But then I might be under 0, so I can add, it was 6, so I can add 7. Yeah, I think that's slightly better. You need a second screen to see the comment. Yes, I know, I'm not a pro, I have only one screen. So maybe I need a smaller one for the comments, that's a good good idea. Alright, so I think I will stop soon, but I just noticed the player is going above like the little flowers and mushrooms and stuff. I think it would be more like immersive if the player was behind the flowers, right? So we can take all this code that draws the player and move it up so that it's shown before the tile map, which I guess is drawn. Oh, hold on, we need also this, which should go here. That's the tile map. All right, okay. So we can basically and now the player is below or behind the grass and mushrooms, which is nice. Just close this. All right. Kind of relaxing to hear programming while doing 3D, even if I don't understand 99% of what is said. I understand. Same, sometimes I listen to some streams of people working, even if I don't understand much. Still, it's nice and cozy. But maybe I can show just before ending the stream some tile map editing. Like I have this editor that I can like pan around and zoom in and out, and you can like draw rectangles to build your level, and then the tiles adapt depending on their neighbors. They will like auto tile, like in Unity or Godot, and yeah, you can draw like there is no limit to where you can draw. Like if you draw out of bounds, it will just add, like expand the tile map. That was pretty fun to implement. Took a while to get right, but now it works quite well. Alright, I think I'm satisfied for today. Oh, this is God tier. Thank you again. By the way, I should also show you, since you arrived just recently, I don't think you saw this. Also because my face was in front of the whole time. But I don't think you saw this. You can, like in this game, you can imitate the melodies that animals that you meet, they sing, basically. So you meet a frog, it sings a melody, and you can imitate it. I hold space and then go like... And if I do the correct melody, then I transform into a frog. And I can jump around, climb on stuff. Whereas with the kids, I couldn't jump, so I was stuck. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the UI for the nodes. I think it's fun. But alright, enough for today. I'm starting to get a bit tired. Thank you for stopping by, Elias and Luca. That was nice to see some people at the end. And yes, I'll do a new stream soon to continue working on this game.